Happy Saturday evening, everybody. I hope everybody is having a great day. And I had a very eventful day. I kind of got stuck down in Miami. I was nervous I wasn't going to make it to the show, but I made it. And it was a gorgeous day. It's just the traffic that I hate. The traffic in Miami, forget about it. I just want to say hi I've got Gary in the chat. I've got Brown Dwarf. Hey, Val, good to see you. Hi, Charlotte, good to see you. Tonight is going to be a fabulous night. I'm so excited because I have one of my friends who's going to come and hang out tonight. So let's get going. Let's get her a lovely intro, and let's just pray I don't screw this one up. And if I do, Jessica, I'm sorry in advance. Jessica Jones is a paranormal investigator and remote viewer based in Northwest Georgia. She is an active field researcher and a member of Enigma Research Group, Anomalous Studies and Observation Group, and North Georgia Cryptid Researchers Group. All are action-oriented research groups which conduct field research associated with all things paranormal, particularly Bigfoot. These groups have obtained groundbreaking evidence at several paranormal hotspot hubs in the southern United States, comparable to the infamous Skinwalker Ranch. What sets her team apart from other groups is that they are trained in remote viewing. In addition to utilizing remote viewing in the research field, Jessica assists in missing persons and cold cases. She presents her field research at disclosure conferences and is often interviewed on podcasts and radio shows across the globe, just like mine. And Jessica has been a very switched on human since childhood. She saw the world from a different perspective than most of her friends and family. Her interests included studying ghosts and the afterlife, cryptids, watching the sky for UFOs at night, and astrology, which led her to be a tarot and an oracle card reader. Jessica spent nearly 20 years as an executive director of the Georgia Commission on Women, a state agency advocating for women across the state of Georgia. She now has a small business, War Women Goods, and you can also find her on her YouTube channel, The Cryptid Huntress, and also The Cryptid Huntress on Patreon as well. Jessica posts videos of her adventures on her YouTube channel, The Cryptid Huntress. She hosts remote viewing investigations with Jessica Jones and the crew from Texas Front Porch on Friday nights at 9 p.m. You can watch her show on cryptids and paranormal field research Into the Portal on KGRA Digital Broadcasting. Jessica hosts her weekend show Off the Trails on Spaced Out Radio every Saturday and Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So everybody, let's give Miss Jessica a warm welcome. Hey, Jess.
Hey, Marty. Oh my gosh, you gave the long version of my bio. I love it. Thank you.
I had to though. I had to because you're one of those people that and I'm telling you, it was super important to me to give your full bio because I don't think a lot of people really know how much experience you have in the field. Yes, You're amazing on camera. You have amazing guests. You have amazing but
thank you.
You're actually out there. You've been doing this for years.
Yeah, a long time. Yeah, my whole life, really. But doing boots on the ground field research for almost 12 years now. Yeah, and I'm on a bunch of different teams. Yeah, so I mean, I kept this a secret. I didn't tell anybody I was a Bigfoot field researcher. Okay.
Yeah, well, because sometimes they give us because we're women, they're kind of like, yeah, she's not a researcher.
Well, here's the thing. I was running a state agency, okay, for women, and I was working with all the heads of the state and and politics at the Capitol. I wasn't trying to go around telling people I was a Bigfoot field researcher in the capital of Georgia. Okay.
Why not? It's the ATL. Come on. Everybody knows.
They knew I was wild, but not that crazy. Okay.
I love it.
my gosh. But I mean, those who knew, they
Yeah.
knew. Those close to me did
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just didn't go public with it, you know.
Yeah. And I've been finding myself kind of in that same situation because like what I do is a little, I don't know, it's a little different and being a property manager and
Yeah.
have it's a very serious job, right?
Hmm.
So people there's only like two people that I work with that actually know what I do. That's
Really?
yeah,
They
because it's
haven't
just
found your
not
podcast yet?
yeah, they haven't found my podcast yet and it's just and I have always made a rule that no one I work with is allowed to have access to anything on my Facebook. Like I will not be friends with
Oh,
anybody I work
smart.
with. I
That's
just
very
won't
smart. Yeah.
because I've been on the other side of it and people believe me when I tell you um when you're being considered to be hired for a job, they go to your Facebook and they look
Yeah.
to see the kind of things that you post. I mean, there was a couple of people that I wanted to hire, and I was looking for an assistant at my property at one point, and I would be like, I want her. She did a great interview. Here's her resume. Da, da. They go on there and they're like, no, she was throwing gang signs. I don't think we're gonna be hiring her. I was like,
Oh,
okay,
I mean, I guess that's why I have to own my own business now.
yeah, it's
So
crazy, right?
you got to get creative if you want to
Hmm.
be out in the public talking about this kind of stuff. You're going to
Yeah,
have to start bringing in income
yeah.
other than a corporate job, probably.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
all the things
So,
you hear about. So
I wanted to talk to you about and I here's because here's what I don't I want to kind of get into something that's a little bit heavy just for a moment and then you
okay.
and I just want to kind of get over it.
Yeah.
So, I've been watching because I support you on Patreon and
Yeah.
everybody should go and support Jessica on Patreon because she really does I'm telling you when you see her data, her raw data, when she does her remote viewing, it I know that there's a lot of people who are not even on board with what remote viewing is does, right? Or what you
Yes.
do with it. And a lot of people I think have the misconception that what is on Patreon isn't any better or any more than what you share on the show. And I can
Yeah.
tell you guys her raw data when she posts that. And then sometimes when you're looking at that raw data, you're going to understand why Jessica has to hold back a lot. She holds back a lot because either it's too sensitive of a subject to discuss on, in this forum, and in this format on this platform, or it's dangerous, the
Yeah.
information. So
Yes.
I
But
just kind of,
yeah.
but here's my question. Here's my question. When you're going and you're remote viewing these kind of situations, and I'm going to use the one that you did last night,
Yeah.
um, I that was traumatic.
It
That
was
was
rough.
really
Yeah.
yeah, and I just so my thing is because you're my friend,
Yeah.
and I want to really know how does that make you feel when you're seeing it, you're hearing it, you're it's like
Feeling
you're
it.
there and you're
Yeah.
feeling it, you're getting it. How
Yeah.
how do you recover from that? How do you do that?
Yeah. Ooh, I just got goosebumps. That's a great question,
Yeah.
and thank you for asking. Yeah. Well, you're in it. You're totally in the situation when you're remote viewing. And last night, the target that I did, my show was based off for people who didn't see it. It was based off the story of um, what was that guy's name?
Bugs.
Bugs. Yeah.
Bugs.
So I want to call him Gay Bugs. Okay. So Bugs out of Texas, he had called in the Art Bell show back in the 1990s and claimed to have shot two Bigfoots. And he and his two hunting buddies had killed them and then got scared because they looked so human like, and they buried them. Okay. And so he just had a guilty conscience and wanted to tell a story. And so there's a lot of, a little controversy behind it because people thought it was a hoax.
Mhm.
And there's a whole bunch of different facets to this story. So it was one of the more popular Bigfoot stories about a body. Everybody wants to know where a
Mhm.
body is. And,
Yep.
uh, and so there were potentially were two bodies somewhere in Texas. So I remote viewed it. And it was pretty traumatic because I didn't know if it was even a true story. And
Mhm.
so I first went in to go see if it was a true story and to see if I could locate what happened, and I did. And it was a senseless killing. Okay, two senseless killings with some
Yeah.
trigger happy dudes. Okay, that were just shooting anything that moved, and hunted down basically two Bigfoots and killed them. And I last night on the show I said, well, I don't know if I'm saying I made the mistake of doing a deep mind probe. A lot of times when I get
Yeah.
into an environment and I detect a person or like a Sasquatch, okay, I'm not, a being. Let's just say a being, okay. I'm able to get in their head and ask
Mhm.
questions and kind of see through their eyes. And I actually communicated with the female that was shot. After they had killed the male, they went to go see his body, and and she was there protecting it, basically. And they ended up, I'm going to say, murdering her. They killed her,
Yeah.
and so she was extremely sad about it, and she was upset and mad. She was telling me that she was part of a family unit there. They both were, and that they were minding their own business, and these people came and killed them for no reason. And it was very, very traumatic for me, and it was just
Mhm.
sad. I'm able to protect myself energetically when I do this, but I'm still a human with feelings, and
Exactly.
and it still affects me no matter what. And I've been tasked with finding missing people and helping with cold
Mhm.
cases, and I can tell you, I've never found a person who was alive. They're usually dead,
Yeah.
and it's tough.
So does that knowing that you could end up being traumatized basically from doing this, are there things or targets that people come to you with and you're like, I
Yeah,
don't think I
I
can do
won't
that?
touch some. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
well, here's another thing. People, I knew better than to go public about remote viewing. That's actually worse than going public about being a Bigfoot field researcher, because the world just hadn't been ready for the remote viewing stuff yet. And I've been
Yeah.
getting everybody's feet wet, so to speak, with this paranormal show
Mhm.
that I do. Uh, just to kind of introduce it a little bit to people in kind of a fun, light way.
Mhm.
Uh, and so by doing like paranormal targets and stuff like that. So to try to just get behind the mysteries of the world, to kind of
Yeah.
expose some things and bring the truth out there. Um, but yeah, there are certain things I will not touch. Okay, um,
Now can
like
you do Go ahead.
Oh no,
I'm
I
sorry.
was going to say, like, well, it's really hard because people want to know, like, well, if you're remote viewing, why are you not finding all these missing children all over the planet, and you're not finding all these missing people? Well, I do help find missing children. I do help find missing people. I
Mhm.
don't talk about that stuff, okay? And so, I think that now that I've been out there a little bit and people have been seeing my shows, I think that everybody kind of understands.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of people
Yeah.
do, but there's a little bit of pushback with remote viewers where people expect you to be constantly sitting there finding missing people all the time, but it
Right,
takes a
right.
toll. The one that I did this week, I've cried all week over that one. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're feeling what she felt in that moment.
Yeah.
You were probably feeling the grief that she was feeling for her mate or her sibling or what
It was
clansman.
her mate. Yeah.
It
It
was her
was
mate.
hopelessness.
I
Helpless and
thought
hopeless.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I thought about that last night. I thought, man, I can't
Yeah.
just trying to put myself in her shoes. I mean, here she probably wasn't expecting any more danger, like she's there and she's probably grieving and,
Yeah.
and then here they come, and
Yeah.
yeah, I can't even it kind of kept me from sleeping a lot last night
Oh, I'm sorry.
because I was no, it was I was really thinking about it, like putting myself in her shoes and how she
Yeah.
must have felt in that moment. And I don't know. I couldn't do what you do. I'm being honest with you. I couldn't.
Well,
I don't think I could do it. Now, let me ask you this though. Now, can you do things like remote view, maybe what their daily life is like, or what their family dynamics are like? Can you remote view those types of things?
yeah, I can. I can remote view anything as long as I get a target and I know what I'm looking for.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or
Yeah.
even
See, that
blind
would,
targets. If somebody else knows what they want me to look for and I get a blind target, that's usually how I like to do it. But
yeah, like
yeah,
a blind target.
blind targets. Yeah, those are the best. Yeah.
Because you have no you're well, now when you say blind target, let's just clarify. So a blind target is a situation or a place or something, but you have no idea, right? No
Right.
information.
It's a set of numbers and they have a target assigned to them, but it's just a set of numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all I get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's interesting. Yeah. It's called coordinate remote viewing. And
Oh,
what's
wow.
interesting, Marty, is that I am planning. Okay, so I decided today that I'm going to start making videos that go in my Patreon just to add
Hmm.
a little pizzazz, okay, and a little something extra to my Patreon, where I'm going to start giving steps and examples and little tidbits on how to learn remote viewing. I'm going to teach it
Oh,
in videos and just do, you know, maybe like
that's
teach a stage
exciting.
at a time or something. And
Yeah.
because I think it's important, and I know that people who are part of my Patreon already are into remote viewing, and so
Mhm.
whatever I can do to help to give back too,
Yeah. That
I
would
want
be
to start
really
doing that.
awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
when you're because like your Patreon, like I said, your Patreon. Well, when I first started looking at the raw data that you have, um, I I didn't understand it at first,
Yeah.
because it's in a specific format.
Yeah, it's
So
in charts.
so yeah, yeah. So when you see the data on her Patreon, Jessica's Patreon, you're seeing her complete
The whole
session.
process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole session from beginning to end, and it's
Yeah.
very yeah. It's very it's amazing.
Yeah,
'Cause-
thank you.
yeah, I
I've
love
been
it.
training in that for at least a good 10 years, and it's something that I've really worked hard on. My whole team has. I mean, I have a whole team of remote viewers.
But
Uh,
you already had abilities though before you started doing remote
yes.
viewing. So it's not like you just went like started cold, like
Well,
one
kind of
weekend you're
did.
camping and the next weekend you're remote viewing. Like it doesn't work like that, right?
Well, it kind of did work like that
Did
actually.
it? Oh,
Yeah, it
cool.
did. Yeah,
Okay.
anybody can learn remote viewing. Everybody and
Yeah.
anybody. It's now some people are just more prone to wanting to do it and are interested
Mhm.
in it. I mean, if you have someone that's completely not interested in remote viewing, like there's no point in teaching that person. Because,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
about once you learn it, you have to keep doing it, okay, to get good at it. I mean, they say you're not really good at remote viewing until you do at least 100 targets. Okay. So, and then you can say, well, maybe I'm getting good a little bit after 100 targets.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
and it was even on Expedition Bigfoot on the most recent season, they had a guy come out there and do remote viewing for the team there. So,
yeah, I
and the
heard
remote,
about that.
and when he started, like going through his data, and I saw
So
him
you
because
knew.
yeah, because when you see Jessica's raw data, when I saw that him doing that on the show, I was like, oh my gosh, it's the same thing Jessica does. It's like, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's awesome. I think it's amazing
Yeah.
that you can do that. I mean,
Well, thank you.
I can't even tell you what's in my fridge, and I opened it 5 seconds beforehand. I'm really bad. I'm so bad like
Oh
that.
man. I mean, I'm bad too. It doesn't take a good memory to be a remote viewer because you're not pulling from your memory. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
It's
you're
all just
right.
like subconscious stuff. So it's
Yeah.
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 It's pulling information out of you, basically, but it's the matrix.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to
Yeah.
explain.
Well, I have been trying really, really hard to kind of, with my own abilities, number one, trust what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Like, so there's something else I wanted to run by you, and of course,
Okay.
all of my closest friends in the chat. So here's an interesting thing that happened to me. So, I watch a lot of YouTube. I
I
I
do
I
too. I'm
I
guilty.
very Yeah, I'm very rarely even on the, use the television. I half the time don't know how to work it because I can't
Me too.
remember any.
I
YouTube's
don't have
easier for me.
cable. Yeah.
But because I do that and because I watch a lot of shows,
Mhm.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think I I think oh gosh, I don't know if I can even say this. I think that there's a couple of people that I believe are disinformation agents, and I think that I've
Oh, yeah.
pinpointed a couple of them.
On
I'm
TV
not
or
gonna
on
say
YouTube?
on YouTube.
YouTube? Oh, they're
I'm not gonna
everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not people who have channels, but
Yeah.
people that are
There's
like,
Oh,
I don't know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
There's
So,
plants, Marty, there's
it
plants. We have to be
yes.
careful. And okay, here's
Yes.
another thing. Okay, occasionally, like, I don't ever go and read comments on YouTube on when I go on other
Mhm.
people's podcasts because that's not
Mhm.
my audience,
Yeah.
and occasionally, not to get in the conversation about people leaving comments and things like that, but sometimes people will leave comments just to rile you up and to discourage you
Yes.
from doing what you're doing. Okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
so you got to be really careful about that. Don't let people get you down.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. No, no,
yeah,
no. It's just it kind of it was just this knowing that
yeah,
happened, and that it was very weird. I kind of literally, it was like I knew. It was like I just
yeah.
knew.
Oh yeah.
And it was
There's going to be a
it
lot
was
of those.
different. Yeah, there
Yeah, I
are.
mean, we have to be careful too. I'm very careful about who I bring on my shows because,
Mhm.
you guys will see a lot of my teammates on my shows. Okay,
Yeah.
because I trust them. Those are my family, and they have great evidence and great stories, and so and it's almost like a network, and and I like to meet people in person before. And there have been a
Mhm.
couple people I've had on my shows that I had never met before. And I'm now that I've got a lot of shows going on, it's going to be, I'm going to have to bring more people in that I don't know. But
Mhm.
so far, this whole year that I've been doing shows, it's been mostly people that I'm associated with in some way,
Yeah.
because there are so many people that are planted to throw things off a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's not necessarily it's not the couple of people that I believe that I feel like I've been led to believe this about, they don't have their own shows. It's not their
yeah.
own, they don't have their own shows. It's just people
Okay.
that I've seen, like, on other people's
Yeah.
channels and stuff. So I don't it's interesting. I
Yeah.
was very surprised that it kind of just started happening. Like, I've really been trying hard to connect with my abilities,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, the last month, it's just been like boom, 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 boom. Every single thing that's coming to me is correct.
Yeah.
And
You're
and
going with
it's
your gut.
yeah. Yeah. It's been interesting. It's been
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, keep doing it. You're seeing
Yeah.
it's working for you.
It is.
It's when you
Yeah.
start trusting that gut and trusting your
Mhm.
intuition, life
Mhm.
gets a little bit more smooth. Okay.
That's true. It does a little
Because
bit,
we're so
doesn't it?
quit swimming against the current. Okay. Just go
Yeah.
with the flow and
Yeah.
trust your intuition. Let it be your guide.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If anybody in the chat has any questions for Jessica, please, if you can do me a huge favor and put them in caps for me so I can see them better. Oh my goodness. Let's see who's all here tonight. We have Ruger Ridge, we have Michael Haywood, we have Mopar Bill, we've got Gary, Ida. I know I saw a bunch of other Hobbs. Thank you for coming. Harold Denton, thank you for coming. New
Hey,
is
y'all.
it Is that noodles? Noodles? Noodle? I don't know. I think it's noodles. Dina. Oh, my friend Dina, Pyromedic is here. Just wanted to kind of say hi to everybody. And if I missed Bama, thank you for coming. If I missed anybody, I think I saw Gene Hudson in here too.
It's the usual suspects. Hey, everybody.
My usual suspects. I love it though.
I do too. I love our chats. Yes. Thank you everybody for being here.
Yes, absolutely. I think that we
It's
have
noodles.
I think that we have like such a good kind of a community within a community. I guess we're like a little sub community where we're all kind of, but you know, it doesn't surprise me that those things happen because like-minded people want to be with like-minded people, right? So there's still a lot of channels that are out there that still don't want to recognize the paranormal or anything else, or you know, they just flesh and blood. That's it, flesh and blood. And you know, Connor's here. Connor just slipped in. Hey, Connor. Tony Harris. Hi, Tony. Yeah, you know, Connor. I love Connor, and he's basically like he's another son. I'm telling you right now, he's another child of mine. And Matt sent me the rough cut of the Panhandle Monsters.
Oh,
Holy cow. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see
Connor. It was so good. I know that it was really good. I was super impressed. You and Matt, like, amazing. You guys did so amazing. I love it. Those two get together and I'm telling you, they play off each other and they're just like, they're like two peas in a pod, Matt and him.
Yeah. You know what? And I may or may not have remote viewed an incident that those two had out in the field one night. So yeah.
I did hear that you might have done that. Well, you know, that was a very weird, you know, kind of situation. And it's going to be
super weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too weird for me. I mean, that kind of stuff happens.
I know you're like,
to me. You're talking to a person who experiences this stuff on the regular. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. And everybody in chat, listen, just so you guys know, Matt is on an investigation tonight, but if he has a signal when he gets there, well, he's already there, but when he gets a signal, hopefully he's gonna pop in and we'll get, you know, like a real time see what's going on. Yeah.
Like live on location tonight.
Live on location. Yeah, and he and I are going to be starting a new show on Monday nights, and it's going to be called Dive into the Depths with Matt and Nona.
Oh,
and
nice.
Yeah. So basically it's going to be a really fun format. It's going to be fun. It's kind of like Matt doesn't know. He's kind of coming into it blind. And then I'm going to have like an article or, you know, some story or a subject that he has no idea what it is I'm bringing to him.
Ooh,
and then we're going to have open discussion. And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It kind of sounds boring, but it's going to be fun. I think it's
not boring at all. That sounds really good.
Yeah, we're going to have
fun.
I'll
be tuning in.
Good.
Monday night's a good night too. I like that.
Yeah, I think Monday nights is a good night because on Monday nights I can't really find much on YouTube on Monday nights. So that's my one night that I'm like, man, am I gonna have to watch television tonight? Like,
I know.
Really?
Well, I think Texas Front Porch comes on at I think it's 6:30 or 7:30 our time. So that's a good one. That's a good one. And I jump on that one sometimes. So
yeah,
that's all I watch.
You guys have a lot of shows. I mean,
oh my God, yeah,
yeah,
we do.
Okay, so you have your channel, Cryptid Huntress. That's your channel.
I do. That's my YouTube channel. But I do a show with Texas Front Porch where I do my remote viewing show that I have on Friday nights. And so I always I try to usually bring the guys from Texas Front Porch on to co-host with me. Depending upon what kind of topic it is. because we've got everything from Bigfoot field researchers to dogman experiencers to biblical
Yeah.
scholars and Bigfoot researchers and people who've just experienced Bigfoot. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, but we're all researchers, and but we all have different backgrounds and kind of different viewpoints. I mean, honestly, Tex is always saying that we're so different, but we're really not. We're not that different.
Well,
I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. We're not that different. Okay.
well,
No.
I will say when I'm watching, any of the shows in, Tex's show or Rob's
Yeah.
show or Jason, the one thing I have to say is you have somebody from all of these different backgrounds, and it's kind of like all of you're a team, you're a big team, right? You're a team.
Yeah.
And it's like you guys all have all of these different attributes that you bring to
Yeah.
each one of your individual shows, and then when you guys are on each other's shows, so tell me what it was like having to have that conversation with Tex to tell him that his missing time that he had was actually an ET abduction.
Yeah.
How did that conversation go?
Well, he wanted me to reveal everything live on air, cold turkey, and
Ooh.
he didn't know what it was going to be. And as soon as I remote viewed his missing time, okay, for people who don't know, Tex from Texas Front Porch, he had an incident back in the day when he was doing some research at Brown Springs, Oklahoma. They have a lot of Bigfoot activity, dogman sightings,
Mhm.
a lot of homicides and murders happen there, and weird high strangeness. Okay, UFOs, and so he had a missing time incident where he had missed like 5 hours. I mean, it was a lot of
Yeah, it was a
missing
lot.
time. He thought it was 11:30 in the afternoon, and it was actually 4:30. And so they couldn't figure out
A lot.
where the time had
A lot of
gone.
time.
But of course, like most people, they're like, we probably just lost track of time, you know. So, but it had plagued him for many years, and so I looked into it, and he had been abducted. He actually had an ET experience, and so I knew better than just to throw that out there cold turkey live on air. That's not appropriate. Okay,
Yeah.
in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah, that was
Yeah. So, and because Tex is
sensitive.
very, very like, big, a Bigfoot
Yeah.
field researcher. He's not really into the ET thing so much. He's exploring it though, which I'm very proud of him. But he's exploring that other side of it because, in my opinion and in my experience, there is a connection with Sasquatch and UFOs and all this stuff. I mean, where there's an area of high strangeness, you're going to get just about
Mm.
everything. Okay. If you're a switched on human and you pick up on these things, you're going to experience a lot of stuff a lot of times.
Yeah.
And so I saw that he had been taken. And so I called him. I mean, I had a whole lot of information. I saw everything, even that his friend had taken off running. And because Tex disappeared in a flash of light, basically right in front of his buddy, and it was like lightning struck, and Tex was gone, and his friend took off running, and Tex knew that he had a video of some sort, but he didn't know what the video was. Right? He said there was some kind of weird video on his camera phone,
Mhm.
and but I had remote viewed that somebody running, and it was like the Blair Witch. Okay, it was like the Blair Witch Project.
Wow.
um and but okay, so I'd seen this happen, right? Well, see, Tex didn't really know about that video, like what was in it or anything like that, but he remembered the guy telling him that there was a video. Well, some of the people in our chat when we did a show last week or this past Thursday, they had seen the video and they saw the part that Tex had not seen, and it was of the
Wow.
guy running with his phone. He dropped his phone and then took off running. It completely backed up my data, and so what that did was I told Tex, let me go back. Let me rewind because I'm fast forwarding a little bit. I told Tex before the show, okay, I called him. I said, I need to tell you this before we go on air. This is, you need time to process this. And so he's like, all right, I'll call you. He called me, and I let him know what I got. And I said, you were actually taken into a craft, and you were experimented on, and you had some things happen to you, and you did have a good bit of missing time. And I said, did you notice any kind of health changes after this happened? And and I could tell he was trying to kind of process what I was saying, and I don't think he was shocked, but he also kind of wasn't totally prepared for all what I was
Right.
going to tell him. And he said what I had written in my data was he had gotten upgrades. They had targeted him to take him to give him some upgrades, and it had to do with his clairaudience, which is hearing, like psychic hearing, and his regular hearing, and his psychic abilities. Okay, so that's something they upgraded. I
Mhm.
said, "Well, what did you notice any changes?" And he said, "Well, yeah, I noticed that I was more in tune after that happened and more psychic." Okay. So it was exactly what I was looking for. That was the answer I was looking for. And he said that. And so we did a little show about it, that week. And it was all good. And I think Tex was kind of like, yeah, okay, it probably happened if Jessica says so, But I don't think, obviously he didn't fully believe me. Okay. Because we did this show with Rob, and I was watching it, and he said he believed me, but then I saw how the show went on Thursday, and I was like, wait, he never really believed me, I don't think. All the way. Love you, Tex, if you're watching. Okay, but I was getting ready to go to my son's open house at his school, and so I was told the guys I'd hop on that show where Rob brought Tex back on to talk about after he had processed what I said, to see what his
Mhm.
reaction was now. And they were talking, and when the people in the chat started telling Tex about that video and seeing the guy drop the camera and run and whatever, the stuff that was in my data that Tex didn't even know about for sure, but I had given him the data with that in it, he got very upset. He was visibly shaken over this information, because
Yeah.
now it's like Jessica was right.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I mean, it's that whole, you see a Sasquatch and you're trying to fit it into a box.
yeah,
There's no box because you don't have anything in in our brains, in our life, that we even can put words to certain things,
yeah,
right? And so for him, I can only imagine that it was very, you know, surreal in the sense that, yeah, he had missing time, but to learn what actually happened, I'm sure there had to be some part of him where he was just like,
yeah,
I probably needing to give his own mind a break at that point.
yeah,
You know what I mean? To kind of set it down a little bit, because I think all of us try with all of these different experiences that we have in all these different subject matters, whether it's paranormal, whether it's cryptids, whatever it is, we still are trying to compartmentalize our experiences, and our encounters.
yeah.
And I think that in my opinion, it's a survival thing that
Oh yeah,
we automatically do, because these things can be so traumatic, you know?
yeah. It's very traumatic. I mean, you know, it's he had accepted that was probably what happened to him, but with the confirmations in the chat that day, with his people that he's been researching with for a while and is known for a long time, who
Yeah.
had seen that video, it was total confirmation. So I was in my bathroom getting my makeup on, and I heard all this. I was listening, and I was like, "Yeah, I was right." I was like, "Oh yeah, that was me." And so they were saying, "Well, maybe Jessica will hop on." So right before I went to my son's school opening, I hopped on, and I was like, "Yep, I'm so glad." It just feels good to get that confirmation.
Yes,
Um,
it does.
yeah, because I don't
It
get that a whole lot. I mean, I'm able to see all this stuff, but to have outsiders
does. Hmm.
confirm my data, it meant a
Hmm.
whole lot to me. I was very happy. And I think Tex was too in the
Yeah.
end. Yeah.
Yeah, because at least he has the truth.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Have you ever done any kind of hypnosis regressions or anything like that?
Well,
Have
the head
you
of
ever?
yeah. Well, okay. I've kind of half. I'm going to say half-assed. I don't like to cuss, but yeah, I have about twice actually. The head of one of my teams is a hypnotherapist,
Okay.
and so he and I did a little bit of regressive work over some
Mhm.
things, but I didn't really for some reason I didn't allow myself to get deep in, and there were
Yeah.
other people there too because it was with my team, and
Uh-huh.
so I need to go back and do that again because it involved an incident that we'd had out in the field. And, I think honestly, maybe I just didn't want to know what happened at the time. I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
that
would make
happens.
sense.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm trying to, and I can't remember whose channel. There was someone that I saw that they've been, it was kind of like a channel of more geared towards UFOs and ET experiences and things and abductions. And I just remember them talking very, very openly about they didn't recommend people having regression because, you know, whether you want to believe that
Yeah.
when you're abducted that you get a screen memory, right? They'll
Hmm.
give you a memory of something else,
Yeah.
or you just have no memory at all and it's just wiped out of your mind completely. It's still very traumatic when you go through regression for a lot of
Yeah.
people. So
Yeah.
yeah, they were just kind of recommending, like, yeah, don't do it, don't do it, you're not going to like
I
what
mean,
you're
I
going to see.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
you have to be ready for it, honestly. And I don't
Yeah.
think that subconsciously I was not ready. I think that's what that was. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I've never been successfully hypnotized at all. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but I've never been. I've had three different situations where I couldn't do it. I
Yeah.
couldn't get
I was
there.
the same way.
I
Yeah.
couldn't get there. I don't know. Some
Yeah.
people, I
I
guess,
think,
are a little
yeah.
need
If
more
I did it
time or something.
today, I think it would be a different outcome. I think that I'd be
Hmm.
able to do it. But, and there may or may not have been a person in that room that I wasn't comfortable revealing things to, too. Like,
Yes,
there was one
that's
person that I was
yeah,
not comfortable with in that room. And so that's why I think that's part of it, too. And it wasn't the head of my team. Okay. It was somebody else. So,
yeah,
you know, that's just the way it is. But I did attempt it once or twice, but I've never like sat down in a room with me and one other person to do that, and it's something
yeah.
I'll do in the future. Yeah,
Oh, I want to hear about it.
yeah. I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
I want to
It's
hear about it.
interesting because I remote view all this stuff, but there's certain events that have happened in my life that I've never remote viewed. I don't. I
Really?
think that I just haven't been ready to. Yeah.
Oh, look, our special guest has made it. Hey, Matt.
All right.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, Matt.
How's it going out there in the wild?
I mean, it's going, it's going.
You
Stuff.
guys hearing anything, seeing anything? Hello?
Oh, he needs to back up 5 feet.
Yeah, back up 5 feet.
All
Are
right,
you
here I am.
there, Matt?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Told you, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for even trying and attempting this. So, how's it going out there?
I mean, it's going good so far. We went out, we put some gifts out. Um, on our way back in to where we're at right now, we had some stuff get thrown at us. Maybe heard some stuff walking around. Seen a lot of deer tonight, so good food source out. But we're gonna see how it
Yeah.
goes.
Okay. So, are you guys going
Nice.
to try anything specific to get some activity? You're just going to hang out?
Well, we're probably going to use my goggles set up for UFOs. Maybe do a little bit of call blasting. Play some of my instruments that I know that they don't like. See if we can get some more stuff at us.
You're going to rile them up. I like that.
Did you hear it? What?
How are you guys doing tonight?
Excellent.
We're doing good.
Well, that's good. Let's have a good show.
Yeah. Yeah, we're having a really good show. But we were just really so happy that you could pop in here and just kind of see, hey, this is what you're doing. It's not even, is it like not even all the way dark yet behind you? Did I still see some lights back there?
That's a little bit. It's a little bit.
Yeah, you got a little light.
I see trees.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Florida sunset.
Do you want to talk just a little bit about the environment that you're in, Matt?
What do you mean? Like it's hot?
Well, I mean, you don't have to, like say exactly where you're located, but I don't know, talk a little bit about what kind of environment you're in. Is it like a swamp? Is it like, that kind of thing?
Well, what we're at is called technically a slough area, where it's kind of like where the swamp meets the woods. Down here in South Florida, it's one of the areas that have had a lot of activity over the years. There's been a couple researchers that I'm not going to personally name right now, but they've been out here and had activity, got prints, got howls recorded. So I first heard about this area because of all the UFO reports that have come out here over the years. And so I originally wanted to come check it out when I heard that there was also Bigfoot here. So I was like, yeah, let's go check it out. And I went out with some guys, had an interesting day. And just about every time I come here, it's an interesting day. So as of right now, it's kind of quiet, but the sun's just now getting down. And
in about another hour,
it'll probably start getting a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always find the weirdest time of night when I'm out in the field is right at dusk. Okay. It's like right when the sun's gone down and it's not totally dark yet. That's the weirdest energy for me out there. That's more weird to me than in the middle of the night when it's super dark for whatever reason.
Well, this time of night, it's hard for your eye to the fading light. So a lot of things are making their last move.
Yeah.
So are you guys hearing any, I mean, the last time you and I were there, we definitely heard a lot of vocalizations. Did you guys hear any of that tonight?
Not so far. I mean, we've heard a couple like knocks and pops, but that could be anything,
Right. Mm-hmm.
But so far, when we first pulled up, I used my whistle and then we heard them whistle back. And that's been it so far. When we walked back to the truck, they started, something was like slapping the top of a palm tree. But nothing really yet. I wish I had more to report at this point, but I don't.
Well, Damien K wants to know if you have a laser.
I do not have a laser.
Those are good to have when you're looking for UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't have one. But they're good.
Doing lasers because lasers could be night hunting, and this is a place where you are not allowed to do anything like that. And I don't feel like getting looking for a Sasquatch or UFO, so I don't bring that stuff out here. Very minimal lights, very minimal recording stuff. I think this is the most time being on here that I've ever used electronics here. So
that's smart.
It's gonna get interesting. I personally like to have the experience more than anything else.
I'm on the same boat, Matt. I'm the same way. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can pull up the chat. Oh, wow, you guys got a lot of people in here tonight. Awesome.
Yeah, we got a couple.
Very cool.
And I've seen some new faces in here tonight too. So I'm very appreciative of people that are, maybe this is your first or your second time here, and thank you very much for coming, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, so far, there's not really a lot. Hey, Rich, how you doing over there, man? Good. Getting your stuff ready? Cool, cool, cool. Hey, everybody.
Matt.
This right here is my good buddy, Rich. He has a channel called Skunk8 Paranormal. He's on Instagram, YouTube, and where else? Just Instagram? I thought you were also on YouTube, though. Okay, well, I got Instagram and YouTube, YouTube. So go give him a follow, man. Awesome guy. He's kind of like a solo investigator, and he's a good friend of mine. So if you like me, you like my mom and Jessica, you like you. So shameless plugs, right?
I like Rich. I know Rich. He's actually a member of my Patreon too. So what's up, Rich? Hey.
Yeah, Matt and I met Rich when we did this, when we met Connor and everything, all the guys over at in Mayaka. So yeah, we were all camped right next to each other in a line. It was like we've met amazing people.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of good people, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let me get these lights set up.
Well, happy UFO hunting and stay safe out there, please.
Watch for missing time, Matt.
Oh, I'm always missing time. That's why it's too depressing to look at the time nowadays.
It is. I feel you.
Yeah.
Actually had some missing time last night.
Ooh.
I was watching some TV and I didn't even I was actually watching Skinwalker Ranch, funny enough. And I'm sitting, it's like maybe like 11 o'clock at night, and I felt myself start dozing off and caught myself kind of like in a little bit of a weird dream. And long story short, I go to look at my phone because I had my phone on my lap. And I checked the time and it's now 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I was like, okay, that's a little strange, but I was probably just passing out. I'm not going to say anything's one way or another, but it was interesting to say the least. Those are the kind of things that make you scratch your head.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Well, I think that's what they bet on, whoever they are, ETs or whatever. It's like, well, they're not going to remember, if we take them and bring them back and time's off by just, a couple hours, they're not going to know,
Mm-hmm.
Crazy humans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, thank you for popping in. If you have anything that might, I don't know, if you start having some activity and you want to jump back on, I know Jessica's only going to be here for a little bit longer because she's got a show tonight. And I think I'm going to sit with my peeps for a little while tonight. And so if you want to pop back on later, if you're having some activity.
Yeah. You know what? I have the link now, and I think I might be able to have a steady internet connection. So anything starts popping off, I'll let you guys know.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Be safe.
And we will. Hold on, I'm just reading you guys or whatever. All right, guys. You all have a good night. I will see you later. And peace be with you.
Bye, Matt.
He's gone. He got abducted. He got abducted. Boom, gone.
Man, it happens in the flash of a light. It's like a flash of an eye. But yeah, like text. It was like a lightning bolt, basically. So,
yeah. Well, this particular area, I tell people all the time, if the millionaires in Palm Beach knew that that Sasquatch were that close to them, they wouldn't be buying their $1 million mansions.
Oh my gosh. Or would they? I don't know. Bigfoot's kind of a big deal these days. So,
I know. Well, we have come to the end of our hour almost, and I know you have to go and you have another show. Good luck for your show tonight and all your future shows. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. You're my friend.
Thank you, Marty.
You're my soul sister.
I know, right? Like a big soul family over here.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. This is fun. It's fun.
Hopefully
Yeah.
we'll get to do some more together. Yeah.
We will, for sure. And thank you for
Yeah.
coming on my YouTube channel the other day. And
Of course.
yeah, we'll be seeing
Anytime.
each other again soon. Okay.
Yes, we will. Thanks,
All right.
Jessica.
Okay.
All
Oh,
right.
Matthew Delph is in here. Hey, Matthew. He just jumped on. That's my friend.
Oh,
So,
hey, Matthew.
hey, let
Hi.
Matt hang out with you guys. Don't let him rile y'all up too much. Okay.
Okay.
He's
All
actually
right.
a Bigfooter out of Virginia. Comes down and researches
Oh,
with my team. So
awesome.
yeah. So y'all
Thanks.
be nice, Matt. Okay.
He
Okay.
will.
All right, Marty. Well, hey, I will see
Okay.
you guys soon. And
Yeah.
yeah, I got Bigfoot Michigan Rob coming on my show
Yes.
tonight. So let me
Yes.
go
10
get ready.
o'clock. I'll be
Yes.
done by 10. So
Okay.
good luck.
Y'all hop in my chat. All right.
All right.
Bye, Marty. Thank y'all.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
So how is everybody tonight? My gosh, it's always a good thing and an amazing thing when you can have your friends join you and have just, have lovely conversations with like-minded people and fellowship together. That's an amazing thing in my mind that I love about this particular community because we really do love each other and we support each other, and it's important to be there for one another. And I feel like this particular, as I said earlier, this particular kind of like sub community within the community, right? Because we're on the woo train, as a lot of them like to say. They can say whatever they want. All I know is what I've experienced, and I'm going to talk about my experiences and my encounters, and I'm going to keep it real and I'm going to keep it transparent. Um, and I'm going to share what has happened to me and in my life. And it's truth. I'm a truth seeker. Matt's a truth seeker. We are truth seekers in this family. And it's important for us to be open, honest, and transparent. And we will always be that. We will always be that. So, Lee, how are you tonight? I saw your show last night, and unfortunately, I had passed out by the time you got. So I missed the live, but I watched it today. Very interesting. But I loved it because you just kind of like went through a lot of information that I had not ever heard before. So I appreciate it, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate your channel. So don't forget that a lot of us actually learn a lot from the research that you do. And I love the fact that you're out there and you're talking about, the quantum Bigfoot, basically, right? The quantum physics and mechanics and all of that. And so we appreciate you, Lee. I also wanted to kind of mention, oh, thank you, Dina. Thank you so much. I got to put her comment up. Thank you, Dina. Thank you so much. I just like to be real with people. And yeah, I do the best I can as far as like preparing for my shows. I do. I try to do my best to prepare. I don't, ever kind of want to, I don't want people to kind of come and feel like, oh, she's just winging it. I try not to do that. But then there's a lot of times when I have 3 pages of notes and the conversation is going so well and the guest is so educated themselves and they're sharing so much, I don't even have to ask the questions. So, that's happened to me a few times as well. I am working on trying to get some more guests booked for my show. It's been a little crazy for me lately. It's been, I've had a lot going on. I have some projects that are coming up. Matt and I also have a couple of investigations that are going to be coming up in the next few months. So my time has been super limited and I haven't been able to really get a bunch of guests lined up. What I've been trying to always do is before the first of the upcoming month, I already have everybody booked for the whole entire month. And unfortunately, that has not happened for the month of August. I only have like 2 guest books. So I'm working on it. But you know what? It's always a good time just hanging out with you guys. So I appreciate it. Ruger, thank you. You got to run. Thank you so much. I've been watching your show, been watching your channel. Love your channel. And I have to get Ruger Ridge because he's the guest that I had booked the week that I got really sick when Matt and I went on that investigation. So I didn't get an opportunity to get him back on the show yet because he's got a busy life too. So I have to get him booked again. And I've been wanting to I have a lot of ideas for some shows that I want to do. And I think it's super important. I really want to put together a show that's kind of survival. I don't mean like Survivor Man kind of thing. I just think it's important for us to have a conversation about when you're out there and your injuries happen. And when you're out there, make sure, I've heard some way they go hiking by themselves. Of course, it depends on where they're going, but it just sticks in my craw because you get out someplace, your phone doesn't work. Satellite phones, we don't have satellite phones, most of us, right? The general public doesn't normally have satellite phones. And cell towers are not everywhere. Signals bounce between mountains and hills and ridges, and sometimes you can't get signals. So it's important to know, especially if you're one of those people that go hiking by yourself, you need to know how to take care of yourself as far as if you have an injury, to learn how to kind of assess your injury, what kind of steps you can take for yourself to get you home safe, So I definitely want to have one of those kind of shows where we talk about how to stay safe in these kinds of environments. So, I kind of want to bring a little bit of awareness to that because for myself, I just want to, I try my darndest to do my research when Matt and I are going to go places. I try so I know the terrain and the topography, and I know what to expect. But sometimes you, as an example, you are thinking it's going to be great because you're not going to have any rain, right? So you don't need you don't need this or you don't need that, because I'm telling you, every single time that we have gone out, there's been 1 or 2 things that you're kind of like, whoa, it comes, you don't even know. If you don't know what the weather's like, here in Florida, it can change like that. It can tell you it's going to be sunny and 95 all day long. And all of a sudden, here comes a really bad storm, so you just never know. And you just have to kind of have a mindset of, in case this happens, I need this, I need that, I need it. So I want to do a show discussing all of these kinds of things about know your environment, learn about your environment, learn about what's in those woods. And I don't even mean Sasquatch. I'm talking about you need to know the kind of snakes that are around you. You need to be able to identify, especially the poisonous snakes that are around you. It's super important to be able to identify whether a snake is a poisonous snake or not. And there's ways to tell. But you have to think about those kinds of things when you're going out, because all honesty, you could come across something. All it takes is for you to misstep, roll an ankle, those things happen. So I want to make sure that we have just a show kind of talking about that and discussing these kind of things. So there's that's coming up. And I think you guys heard me mention Matt and I are going to be doing a show Monday nights. Bye, Lee. Thanks for coming. I think he has a show tonight too. So go see Lee. go check out Lee's channel. Check out D.A. Roberts' Ex Machina, his channel. Him and Anthony have an amazing show. Check them out. Jessica's going to be starting around 10 o'clock. Trying to kind of like think of amazing channels that we can all support. So I just wanted to spend a few minutes with you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Matt, I believe, is going to be doing the promotion for our new show coming up in the next couple of days. I believe it's going to start on Monday night. It'll be Monday nights at 9. And it's going to be fun. I'm just telling you right now, it'll be a very fun show. Unless you guys kind of know Matt and I together, we have a very interesting dynamic. Sometimes a lot of people don't even recognize that I'm his mom because of the way we talk to each other. And we talk because we just talk like we're best friends a lot of times. I'm that way with both of my sons. And, so it's fun. And my kids absolutely love to give me a hard way to go and just tease the daylights out of me. And I do the same to them. So I can't say what Monday night's topic is going to be, but please come and at least see Matt's reaction when I tell him what it is. It's going to be funny, guys. It's going to be funny as hell. At least stop by for the first half an hour. Just to at least see Matt's reaction. You're going to love it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Ida. The first show is going to be, this Monday, August 1st at 9 o'clock. And again, we're going to be streaming it to his channel and my channel. So you'll be able to see it on both of our channels. So if you come by mine or you go by his, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to see it either way. Again, Gary, 9 o'clock. So it's Monday, August 1st, 9 p.m. And it'll be on both of our channels. Who did I miss? I know Duke was in here. Duke, thank you so much. I don't know if you're still around, but I appreciate that you came back to my show. I know you came because Robin was here and she's very, good friends of yours, but I appreciate the fact that you did come here tonight. I appreciate you very much. Who else? Pyromedic. I can't remember if I said hello to you. And thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Matthew, thank you. You're friends with Jessica. Thank you so much for coming as well. Hope you come back again. Maybe you could subscribe, like, comment, share. Tony Harris, thank you so much for also being here. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I don't like it when I miss people, but I might have a few here and there. Thank you guys. So I'm going to call it a night. And I still have my grandchildren here that because we were so late getting back from Miami, I have to get them a bath. It's been a crazy day. Thanks for hanging out with me and Jessica. And, I was hoping to go a little longer, but I just don't think I can today, guys. I'm exhausted. It's been a long day. Thank y'all for being here. Good night, everybody. Love, light, and blessings. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys Monday night. All right. Have a great one, guys. Thank you.